Directive received. Die.
They replaced me with an AI 3 years ago, so why are they the ones crying now? Mom and Dad brought home an AI daughter.
Hello, Nora.
The day she arrived, I became the difficult one. Dad thought I was too hard to deal with. Mom thought I'd never measure up to AI Seraphine. Kayla yelled right in my face.
All you ever do is fight me for everything! What else are you good for?
I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. I rushed over and shoved Seraphine to the floor.
Seraphine is your sister! If you had half her obedience, I wouldn't have migraine every single day because of you! I'm sending you to the Harmony Institute. Maybe they can teach you how to be a decent daughter.
Just like that, she replaced me. I was sent to the Harmony Institute for reconditioning. 3 years later, Dad, Mom, and Caleb came to pick me up. Nora, I didn't move an inch.
Mrs. Ashford, you have to say activate. Otherwise, Unit 1314 won't boot up.
Mom looked at the back of my neck. Activate.
Unit 1314.
She had no idea what the word meant to me. She was just parroting the director.
Unit 1314 able. Awaiting directive.
We designed a special system for our students, Mrs. Ashford. She requires a verbal trigger to be awakened. Once activated, she will never disobey you again.
Caleb shoved forward. He was 5 years older than me. Making me cry used to be his favorite game. I used to chase him around the house until Mom screamed in his mouth.
Unit 1314. Bark like a dog.
The second I heard the command, I hunched my shoulders, stuck out my tongue, and barked.
Looks like Nora finally learned her lesson. It used to take half an hour just to get her to practice piano. Now tell her to bark like a dog, and she does it instantly.
On the drive home, Mom tried to make small talk.
Nora, how were your 3 years at the Institute?
I said nothing because she hadn't used the command answer.
Nora?
Interrogative statements do not constitute valid commands. If a response is required, please use imperative format.
Answer.
Life at the Institute was productive and enriching. I completed the 3 core modules: emotional suppression, absolute compliance, and rational overrill. My final evaluation was optimal. The handler graded me as the most successful conversion case of the year.
The backseat was silent. Caleb muttered.
She's just like Seraphina.
3 years ago, real trees had lined this road. Now they'd been replaced by glowing air purification columns. A holographic billboard played an Elysian Industries ad. An AI girl smiled at the camera. The text below read, "The child you've always dreamed of." As we drove past, the girl tilted her head, the exact same way Seraphine did. The city blurred past the window. The skyscrapers and the sky bridges looked nothing like I remembered. Inside the institute, time was just a series of commands. A day and a month felt the same. I tracked time using the tally marks I scratched inside the sensory deprivation pot. Eventually, I forgot how to count. It was dark when the car pulled into the parking level. Seraphine waited by the front door, her hands folded neatly in front of her. Her lips were fixed in a calculated smile. She looked the same as she did 3 years ago. Back then, Mom crouched down to speak to her.
Seraphine, welcome home.
I jumped off the couch to see my new sister. My foot caught on something. I hit the floor face first. Nobody helped me up. They just said I was clumsy. After that, no one looked at me the same way. Caleb rolled his eyes when I spoke. Mom pulled Seraphine behind her when I entered the kitchen. Dad stopped calling me kiddo. I wasn't as obedient as Seraphine. I wasn't as sweet. In the end, they sent me away.
Welcome home, Nora.
Her voice was just as sweet and cloying as I remembered. I didn't answer. She hadn't issued the answer directive.
Are you still mad at Seraphine? Did you learn nothing? Say something!
Acknowledged. Thank you.
Seraphine's smile never wavered. Mom nodded in approval. At dinner, everyone sat around the table. Seraphine sat to Mom's right. Caleb sat to Dad's left. I was seated at the far end of the table. Steam rose from the plates. The smell of roast chicken from the food printer hung in the air, but I felt nothing. At the Institute, eating was categorized as energy intake behavior. It had nothing to do with hunger or pleasure.
Let's eat.
I instantly picked up my fork. Caleb stopped eating. His eyes went wide.
No way. Since when do you eat Brussels sprouts? You used to gag just looking at them.
I didn't answer. I just stabbed another Brussels sprout with my fork. The handler told us that
Personal preferences are emotional residue, proof of an incomplete conversion.
during my 3rd month, I refused to eat Brussels sprouts. They locked me inside the sensory deprivation pot for 2 full days. The pot had no light, no sound, and no physical sensation. There was nothing but total darkness. When they finally let me out, I ate the Brussels sprouts. Then came the liver, the mushrooms, and the asparagus. I ate every single thing I used to refuse to touch. Mom nodded approvingly. She'd always hated picky eaters. A second later, I reached for the peanuts on my plate. I put a peanut into my mouth. I chewed exactly 15 times. Then I swallowed.
Did she just eat a peanut? Nora is severely allergic to peanuts. She ate one when she was little, and her lips swelled up. We had to rush her straight to the ER. Since when can Harmony cure allergies?
At the Institute, allergies were treated as a form of weakness. The handler simply smeared peanut butter onto my bare arm. The redness, the blisters, and the rotting skin spread across my arm.
An allergy is a physical weakness. Weakness can be trained into strength.
My skin rotted and healed over and over again, but the allergic reactions never stopped. Back at the dinner table, my body gave a sudden jolt. I felt my throat tightening and my skin starting to itch. Angry red wells erupted all over my neck and face.
Face is getting red!
That's not blushing. That's an allergic reaction. Nora, stop eating right now. You know you're allergic to peanuts.
Is that a directive?
Patient presents allergic reaction. Respiratory distress level, moderate. Skin inflammation coverage, approximately 23%. Recommend immediate administration of epinephrine.
They reacted instantly. They scrambled to find an EpiPen and jammed it into my leg. Once my breathing returned to normal, the living room fell dead silent. Caleb's voice drifted from the couch.
Something's wrong with her. She used to cry. She used to throw tantrums. She didn't act like Seraphine. Can you just be normal? Stop acting like Seraphine. We just wanted a sister who listens, not a machine.
Please define normal.
Caleb turned pale. Dad and Mom looked rattled. Dad immediately called the Institute. The voice on the phone explained it was a standard reaction to deep behavioral reconditioning. They promised it would fade in a few days.
Unit 1314 is our highest performing case right now. Her compliance surpasses any AI model. Rest assured, this is completely normal behavior.
Dad hung up and repeated the words to Mom. She nodded. They both let out a sigh of relief. For the next few days, I became the most useful tool in the house. Mom told me to wash the dishes. I scrubbed them cleaner than Seraphine ever could. Dad told me to organize the garage. I moved every single box by myself. Caleb told me to grab his delivery downstairs. I made the round trip in under 2 minutes. Mom actually laughed.
She's even better than Seraphina now.
No one disagreed until that night. Caleb forgot to issue the shutdown directive. Everyone went to sleep. I sat on the living room couch from dusk until dawn. When Mom came downstairs the next morning, she found me sitting in the exact same position I'd been in the night before. She stopped dead in her tracks. The coffee mug slipped from her hand and shattered across the floor.